Welcome to series of lectures of Bhopal School of Social Sciences. I am Dr. Sunana Kaur, Department of Psychology, Bhopal School of Social Sciences. So, today we will be discussing about approaches specifically psychoanalytic approach. Before starting this psychoanalytic approach, I want to discuss about what it is actually, why we are using these approaches. As we are talking about guidance and counseling, to treat the people, to treat the clients, we are using different approaches. So, as you can see, there's a different therapies are there, like as you can see that Elderian therapy, existential therapy, person-centered therapy, gestalt therapy, cognitive behavior therapy, reality therapy. We always have a choice, help assuming personal responsibility, transactional analysis, mindfulness therapy. We use different therapies, approaches to heal the client. So, there is a core approaches are there in the counseling, that is core counseling approaches, cognitive behavioral, personal centered, psychodynamic and behavioral approaches are there. Cognitive behavioral therapy basically used to integrate thoughts and behaviors to address psychological issues. On the other side, we are using person centered, which emphasize empathy and client autonomy in therapy. Behavioral therapy behavioral approach we are using, which more focus on observable behavior and learning principles. Psychodynamic approach we use to explore unconscious processes and past experiences. So, today we will be discussing about psychodynamic or the psychoanalytic approach. Psychoanalysis. Who is the founder of psychoanalysis? Sigmund Freud, Viennese psychiatrist, is the person primarily associated with the psychoanalysis. He is the most famous figure and most influential and controversial figure of the 20th century. Sigmund Freud, an Austrian neurologist, born in 1856, and he is also referred as a father of modern psychology. He talked about more listening to the patients while he was dealing with his patients, and he was listening to his patients and he tried to understand what their problems are. He found that there is a basic problems which hidden in the unconscious mind, and in this psychodynamic approaches we have more focus on importance of early childhood experiences and relationship with parents as guiding forces that shape personality. Additionally, he talked about in this approach unconscious mind and motives as much more powerful than the conscious awareness. When we are talking about conscious and unconscious, so basically Freud talked about these all structure of personality and three parts of minds. So, we will be discussing that also step by step. So, first of all, we will start with the personality. He talked about it consists of three parts. What is that three parts? That is, one is known as the id, second is ego, third is superego. So, first of all, id. It is comprises of a moral instincts which operates according to the pleasure principles, and it consists of unconscious sexual and aggressive instincts. We might feel sometimes sexually attracted to someone and some arrogant person, and some on the other side we also like that person and we are arguing with that person. Same time we are doing, sometimes we are fighting a lot with the person and on the other side we like that person. In conscious mind we are fighting with the person, in unconscious mind we are liking that person. So, this is where that it play a very significant role in that way. So, it is based on the pleasure principles, like if whatever we do, if we are getting pleasure from that, we do it according this id, personality, this one of the part of the personality. Like that, whatever immoral or when we want to do something which is not, society will not accept it and we are doing that thing, and immediately if we are doing impulsive behavior, that somehow according to this Freud approach, it is based on the id. Because we do not see what societal norms are there, but we do it because we are getting pleasure from that particular things. So, this is more related with the id. On the other side, there is a ego. Ego part is the other part of personality that is a more conscious and where we decide what to supposed to do. So, there is a conflict between ego and id. what we are supposed to do. So ego on the other side is the organized way of id. So it's formed to provide somehow realistic direction for the person's id impulses. Sometimes we want to do something and we are not able to do directly to others. So here the ego role is there. So he tell us how to organize that particular thing to satisfy our id as well. So if we have some kind of fight with other one and we want to slap that person, we cannot immediately slap, we just wait for the moment when the right moment will be there, then I will respond. So that is according it will do immediately. Impulsive reactions are there according the id, but the other side ego try to manage it, how to do it, when to do it. So that is the main role of the ego. So other side, superego. When we are talking about superego, the conscience of the mind that contains the value of the parental figures and that operates according to the moral principle. So basically ego is more realistic one, superego is more moralistic, moral principle based, and the id is more because of the pleasure principles. So superego, what it construct, it's basically it is a construct used to describe the individual internalization of societal values. So main functions of the superego are the inhibit the urges of id, to pursue the ego, to substitute moralistic goals for realistic ones, and to strive for perfection. Like that, here when we are talking about these three roles of id, ego and superego. So basically ego is controlling and managing both id and superego. So we call it that ego is also play a role of a central executive, that is a boss kind of, manager kind of. Whenever situation lies in front of us, what we are supposed to do in that particular situations, we don't, if we are immediate response, that is called impulsive behavior, and we say that there is it is dominating in that particular time, right? And if we wait and just check the situation, it is the appropriate time to react in that or respond to the particular situation. It is known that we are balancing with the help of the ego, and ego is try to balance the situation, what is the appropriate one. On the other side, if we are talking about superego, whenever we are doing something wrong, we have a guilty. So we see that, oh, we said something bad to others and we are getting feeling very bad for about. If you are very rude with your parents, or if you are rude with your friends, sometimes you feel guilty. That is a part of superego. If you steal, or you slap someone and later on you realize that no, it was not my appropriate behavior. Here, what is the dominating part? It is a superego, which tells you which is right or wrong, and do and don'ts, and which sometimes direct you for the morality based principles. What is moral values? What are the societal norms are there which allow us to do the certain things? So that is sometimes, again, in the every situation of life, there is a id, superego and ego. Always we have to check which dominates most of the time. So basically, if you check with the criminals or the people who show antisocial behavior also, they always have this somehow dominate or dominance of this id, and the superego person who is always afraid of to tell a lie, ki nahi mujhe, we cannot say lie because it is wrong. So that means superego is more dominated in that. So sometimes how ego balance those things, that sometimes situations are like that. Honesty, sometimes we honest with everyone, but sometimes we check. Our ego check what is required in that particular situation. If we feel that honesty is most important here, we agree with that. Otherwise, how we balance with between id and superego, I will check with the situation and deal with accordingly, right? So this is the personality. Personality consists of these all three parts, and it is very, very important to understand these id, superego, ego. So these are the all dynamics are there which we always have, being as individuals, we always have a conflicts, and that's why Freud, that because of these things we always having troubles and problems in our life, because we are not able to balance these all three things, like that ego, superego and id. So that is a mostly id is more based on the pleasure principles, and whatever we do immediately, like that there is a marshmallow experiment was there, in that they have kept marshmallow in front of children and they instructed them, don't touch the marshmallow until I will come back. So sometimes it is saying no, okay, just get it and eat it, enjoy that marshmallow, and some other students were there, they didn't touch the marshmallow because the superego was very strong, that our teacher instructed us, don't touch the marshmallow until I will be back. So other side, the students who have took that marshmallow and ate, there is more edge dominated. So that is an example of that, how we can compare it, how we can understand this concept, right. So now the other model, Freud's model of the mind, consists of three parts, that is the conscious, unconscious and the preconscious mind. So he talk about, it's a very famous iceberg model is also there, that is a Freud's model. It is basically conscious mind that is more attuned to an awareness of the outside world, preconscious mind and the unconscious mind. First of all, we will talk about the conscious mind. So there is a, his fundamental assumptions about our mental life, like that they have divided into three parts. That is, one is the conscious mind, second is the preconscious mind, third is an unconscious mind. So according Freud, the conscious mind, it refers ideas and sensation of which we are aware of, like, and it is somehow lies surface of the personality which can be visible to all, like that. Just now I am talking to you and it is visible, I am very conscious, what you can see from me, that's the conscious level. On the other side, when we are talking about preconscious mind, that contains hidden memories or forgotten experiences that can be remembered, like that few experience we have which is somehow lies in unconscious level and they are in the unconscious part, and it could come with the conscious level with little efforts, like that if we are try to recall it, it will come to our conscious level, right. In the contrast of this, all these preconscious and conscious, the unconscious part is also there, which operates on the deepest level of the personality, and it consists of those experiences and memories of which we are not aware. So sometimes all the troubles and anxieties we are facing, somehow according Freud, it is based on unconscious. This is such mental states and we are remains out of awareness, because making them conscious would create tremendous pain and anxiety for us. So sometimes we don't want to recall those bad memories, and it is lies in the unconscious, and frustration, pains, aggression, all these kind of lies in the unconscious part. This is all about today's session. We will continue next in the next session.